Hello, welcome to Mud, Soil and Tears. My name's Kerry and today I am in the polytunnel. There's not been that much going on at the allotment this week apart from some seed sowing. So I thought it might be nice if I just run through what I'm sowing in February, what I've sown in January, what I'm sowing in February and why I am sowing them. Obviously the reason for this channel is because I want to be as self-sustainable as possible. I want to be able to feed my family from my allotment as much as is possible. So to be able to do that, I've had to put some thought into what I want to sow and why. So there's this very real temptation for me and for a lot of other people to just go ahead and just sow everything that I possibly can. But I need to be more tactical about it this year because I want to produce harvests that are going to feed the family that we're going to live on, and I want to cut down our food bills and eventually get into the place where I don't have to rely on going somewhere else for my fruit and vegetable needs. We can come here to the allotment and get it most of the year round. So I'm trying to be a bit more tactical about it. So I thought I'd just run through what I've put in so far and what I'm thinking about for the rest of the month. So far I have got, which we talked about in another video, is a lot of the Asian greens in. So I got a lot of them in and they're doing really great just up there behind me, and we'll go and have a quick look at them in a minute before we leave the polytunnel, because I'm so impressed with how they're coming on, especially now we're sort of in mid-February and the light levels have gone up. Then they're starting to grow extra leaves and I think they're going to grow really quickly, which is really exciting. So over here, this is my new desk. I got it on Facebook Marketplace yesterday for £10. Because, you know, as I've already explained, I'm trying to keep everything as off the floor as possible. And we're having a bit of a wood shortage at the moment here. And the cost of buying in wood to make things is a lot at the moment. So I found this desk. It's a metal desk, so it's probably not, you know, it's not going to withstand many years in here, but for now it'll do. It's only tenner, so I've put this in here, and hopefully it'll keep more of my seedlings off the floor, because I'm getting to the point where I am expanding into so many seedlings that I've got nowhere to put them. So at home on my window ledge is my little seedling baby nursery. So I've got a shoe rack on my window ledge at home, which we will go and have a look at some point. And on there I'm potting my seeds here, I'm sowing them here, taking them home, putting them on the window ledge till they germinate. And then when they germinate, I'm bringing them back here to the polytunnel to continue growing. Because what I did last year was I left them on my window ledge at home for far too long. I didn't know about the fact that I shouldn't do that. I didn't know that it was going to make my plants weak. And as a result of that, the stuff I did manage to grow last year was really weak and deformed, which is nothing wrong with deformed veg, but I had parsnips that look like little space aliens, little round aliens, which, you know, it's not parsnip, and there wasn't really much parsnip you could get off it because it all had little tiny shoots, roots coming off it. And I think that was just down to the fact that I left it for so long in my house. I tried to grow them in toilet rolls, but I still think I left them too long. Same with my broccoli last year. All of my cabbages, they bolted essentially. I put them in the ground, they got taller, I thought they were growing, and they just all bolted and went to seed. So I got nothing last year from any of them. And I didn't really know why until I've been reading a lot more since then. I've been looking into it, and I think I just kept them inside too long. So I'm not going to do that this year. So I've been taking a chance. I think the weather's on my side this year. This time last year, the weather was absolutely horrendous, and the spring weather was horrendous. I'm pretty sure it was snowing still in April. It's been all right this year so far. I'm expecting it to probably get cold, and I'm trying to get ready for that with a bit of fleece and stuff. But for now, these seedlings, so I germinate them at home, bring them back here, and let them grow slower. And hopefully that's going to make them into more sturdier, stronger plants that aren't going to be weak and that are going to be able to produce fruit without bolting and going straight to seed. Fingers crossed. That's the plan. I don't know if it's going to work or not. Like I say, a horrible frost could come along and just kill them all. But do you know what? It's only February, so if it does, it does. And I'll just start again. I'll get what I can. So I'm not too worried about it, but I think it's worth a try, and that's what it's all about, isn't it? You know, trying things and seeing what happens. So what I put in is, I'll start with my cabbages. These are what I've sown so far. I've got a Greyhound cabbage and a Primo cabbage that I've put in, that I've seen. Greyhound, I think, comes up really, really quickly, as the name would suggest. And the other one apparently is a really tough cabbage as well. So I put them in because, you know, I think cabbage is something that we eat a lot of. We like cabbage. It's great. It's a great plate filler when you're low on vegetables, and it can go in just about anything. So cabbage is something that I'm going to keep on the menu. I'm going to try and grow, and I can pretty much, I think, grow them most of the year round as well. So they're going to be important. So I've got the cabbages in. They are over here in a little tray. My 2 cabbages. I've sown them in there. I'm going to pot them on today into some little individual pots so they can carry on growing, and get them a bit bigger than this before I put them out, so they don't get eaten, essentially. So that's them so far. And you know, they only went in really, I think, on the 3rd, and it's the 14th today, so they've come up super duper fast. That's the Greyhound, that's the Primo, and they've come up really fast. Probably kept them at home too long again, but hopefully it won't cause them too much problems, because I'll get them in and keep them out here for a little bit in the polytunnel. So yeah, that's the cabbage. So I've got lots of cabbages going. They'll be important for us eating. And the other thing that I've got in is I put in some spinach. Now, spinach again for me last year was a disaster. I tried to sow it so many times and it just failed every single time. And sometimes I managed to get a spinach plant this big, and then I'd plant it out and it'd die. Guaranteed every time. So I don't know what I was doing. I still really don't know what I was doing wrong with the spinach. Maybe it was just the varieties I had. So I've seen this one. Looks quite good. It's called Red Kitten. So I put that in now. That's come through. That's in another little one here. That's come through already as well. Same date it was planted, so it's come up really quickly. So I'm going to pot that on this week as well. I brought it to the polytunnel now, and I'm going to pot that on into bigger pots. Plant the strongest ones, and then hopefully, fingers crossed, I might actually get some spinach. So I'm going spinach because we eat a lot of it. You know, greens, salads feature a lot on our menus. So I'm growing them. I'm going to grow as many as I can. Last year we did quite well with salads. So this year it'd be really great to have some spinach to add to it. Yeah, I really noticed it, and I really felt it when they when it all went in the winter, and I've had to go back and buy in shop bought salad. Just doesn't taste anywhere near the same, and I never realised it at the time. So that's something that I need to plan more for, so we can have salad greens for the whole 12 months. It is possible, I think, to at least keep some chard going, some winter spinach maybe going as well, and a few other things. So I'm going to need to plan better for that. So I'm starting now, because I think spinach is a good one to have now early on in the year. I don't think it does so well in the summer, and then hopefully I can re-sow some more if this one does well going into the winter, and we can have a supply in the winter as well. Cabbage. What else have I put in? I put in a cauliflower. I'm not sure where it is now. It's hiding somewhere. I planted Cauliflower Igloo. Oh, here it is. Cauliflower Igloo variety. I think it's a good early starting variety of cauliflower from what I've seen and what I've read about it. Again, we eat a lot of cauliflower. We eat a lot of cauliflower. We eat a lot of broccoli. Eat a lot of greens. They're quite a major part of our diet. So I'm growing it. This is the other side of this is the cauliflower, which have come up again, looking quite good, really fast. So I'm going to pot them on this week as well. A lot of potting on to do this week. It's been a busy week. So hopefully we get the cauliflower going. Again, it's what we eat, and that's what I'm planting for. I'm planting for what we eat right now. It's early, it's February, and it's really important for me to be able to plant what we're going to eat and what we need to eat. Again, last year I had really bad luck with the cauliflower. All the cauliflower was the same as the broccoli. I had it all indoors at home, planted it out in May, I think, and it just all went straight to seed. So I've never grown a cauliflower before. Fingers crossed, if one of these little babies is going to come through for me. And again, I need to be planning for that going forward as well, because we want a supply of cauliflower all year round. So I need to plan for how we're going to do that. So that's on the list. And the other thing I've put in is peas. Got some peas in. This year I'm going to grow peas, not just for the pods. See these type of peas are just really, they're an allotment snack for the kids, because there's not a chance any of them ever make it home. They love them so much, they come here and they just eat them. So, I mean, I don't mind taking up a bit of space for them. It's a healthy, nice snack for them and it gets eaten, so that's fine. But I want to grow peas for pea shoots as well this year. So I've got another couple of varieties of pea on the way that I am going to get going. But I've sown these ones now already. And I think I'm probably going to sow another lot in a week or so, and we'll try them as pea shoots as well. Like I said, we eat a lot of greenery, and it's really nice to have some extras and some different things to add to the mix. So we've got that in. I got my beetroot in, which you can see just here behind me. I kept this beetroot in the house too long. It's a Boltardy, Beetroot Boltardy, and it shot up really quickly again. I think because of the increased daylight now, and my seedlings before haven't been coming through that quickly. And then I planted the beetroot in, and then it felt like just a day or two, and I looked around and all of a sudden they were really super tall. So I had a bit of a panic yesterday, and I brought them down here now to the polytunnel. Hopefully I haven't done them too much damage. So I want to multi-sow. I've multi-sown these. I wanted to grow them in the batches that they're in. Again, we eat a lot of beetroot. We love beetroot. The whole family loves beetroot. The kids eat beetroot. So something for us that we're going to need going throughout the year. So this is the first sowing. I've tried the multi-sowing way. I've never done this before. So I've got 4 or 5 in each one, and hopefully I can just pick them out and plant them into the ground. So I'm going to see how they go. They might have got a bit too leggy and too big for me to be able to do that. They shouldn't bolt because they're bolt hardy, but I might have to do something with them. I'm not sure what, because I don't want to disturb them. I don't want to move them on because I want to pop them straight out into the ground, but probably not till March. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do with the beetroot yet, but it's there, it's sown, and it survived its first night out here, and it looks absolutely fine. So hopefully it'll slow down a bit now being in the polytunnel. So apart from that, the other things that we have sown are mostly onions, spring onions and shallots. I'll pop in the description box all of the types that I've sown so far. They're all winter hardy ones. They're all ones that should grow at this time of year and that should do really well. The shallots I haven't put in yet. I've been holding back because I've got 2 lots of onions going on now. So I've got my original onions that I planted out last week, and I've got a set of the Lilia onions on the window ledge germinating, and then I want to do the shallots. So I'll probably do the shallots maybe this week and see how they go as well. So that's what I've got going so far. Other than that, I've got some herbs to sow. I've got some parsley, which we use a lot of parsley, so I'm sowing the parsley. Comfrey, which is a herb I'm going to grow this year, possibly for its medicinal uses and for fertilising, possibly. And I've got some lemon balm going on the window ledge at home as well. So I'm getting some herbs going, and I planted some sweet peas as well, because I know I'm making a functional garden. I'm making something to feed the family, but I also want to attract the pollinators. So I'm going to have some flowers growing in there. I want to attract wildlife there. And when you're going to spend so much time somewhere, then it might, it needs to be pretty as well. It needs to be a place to spend time. Last year I grew calendula for the first time ever, and I actually have saved a lot of the seed from the calendula at home to try and grow this year. So I might start them as well, because they were so beautiful. They looked so lovely last year within the beds, and they worked really well planted with my tomatoes as well, to keep the pests down and pest control. So sorry about the rain, it's absolutely chucking it down. I can hear it bashing off the polytunnel. So yeah, I'll probably put some of that in as well, but I'll put a list in the description box, so if anybody wants to try sowing anything along with me, even if you don't have the the allotment or the polytunnel, you can grow some of these things in a yard or a garden. Before I took this allotment on, when I started a couple of years ago, I only had a backyard. We don't even have gardens around here where I live. They're all really old mill houses. So we had a backyard, and I put a mini greenhouse in there. I germinated, I grew things on in my mini greenhouse, and then I got some really big pots, some big containers, and I just started putting some things in there, and we had peas going and tomatoes and quite a few other bits and bobs just in a tiny backyard. So it doesn't have to be all or nothing. You can start, if you want to start trying to feed your family, you want to start trying to reduce your food bill, you want to start trying to reduce your reliance on systems outside of you, then you can do it. It is possible. You don't have to have everything that I've got now. So I wanted to say that, because sometimes you can watch videos like this and you think, oh well, she's got the polytunnel, that big polytunnel there, and she's got the massive space in the allotment. But I've done it on a small scale as well, and you can make a difference. And even just one thing, it feels like such a huge achievement to just grow that one thing and to feed your family and to make a meal from that one thing. It just feels amazing. So let's have a little look round at all the seedlings in here, and then I'm going to I've got a bit of a dilemma with my orchard as well, from where we planted the trees last week. So we'll have a look at that if the rain stops. So let's have a look at everything here. Okay, so these are the Primo cabbages that I potted on yesterday. And this is the beetroot. This is the Boltardy that has got a little bit bigger than I would have liked it to. We'll see what happens there. They're the seeds that we just had a look at. Over here I've got the red kale, which hasn't really done much since I've potted it on, and that one is the Pak Choi, which again hasn't really done too much over the past week or so. And then round here, that's my potting station. Up here we've got the Mabuna and the Mabuna, and look at these, they're doing amazing. Do you see they're growing an extra leaf on them, all of them, even 2 leaves at the back over there. So I'm so pleased with them. A little bit of light and they really get going. This is the Pak Choi that I haven't potted on yet. I'm not sure if I will. I might just use it as a bit of greenery for a salad, because I've got quite a lot going down there. These are the lettuces, the 4-season lettuces, and these are coming up really nicely as well. They've got extra leaves. You can see the extra leaves coming through with a bit of colour on already as well, which is exciting. So they're coming along amazing. And those, they could be grown in a container in the garden as well once they've come through. Let's see, why not? This is some rocket. I only sowed that on the 1st, and that's lived in here. I haven't brought that home to germinate, so that's all germinated here in the polytunnel, which is coming through. This is another variety of Pak Choi that I'm going to have to pot some of it on this week as well. This is going to be a colourful version, and you can see some of them are already coming through different colours, so that'll be a different thing. At the back here I've got some broad beans just coming through, and these I think these must be some Pak Choi that have snuck into my broad beans somehow. So I've got a few of the broad beans coming through, and at the back over there are my radishes that I didn't think were going to come, but there they are. They're coming through now nicely. This is mustard. That needs potting on as well now, really. And then down here is some of the stuff that I grew that was last year's, and I wanted to see if it had come through or not, so I just threw some in. So this is some broad bean. This is really old seed, I think about 2 years old, and they're coming through really nice. Look at them. So that's some more broad bean, and this is the Mabuna and the Mabuna that I've got potted on over there. These ones you can see they're going now. We've just been using them as microgreens, just cutting some off to have on salads, and the kids really like just coming along and eating them as well. So that's those. That's the rest of the lettuces that I potted on. And this over here, this is some super old corn salad. I didn't think it was going to come through. It's been in there. It's the same amount of time. I sowed that when I sowed all of these, and that has just started coming through this week. And I didn't think it was going to, but there it is. And that's super old seed. So, but again, I'm not going to really do anything with that. I'm probably just going to use it as a bit of micro greenery. It's nice just to add a bit of flavour to some salads. That's all really I'm using this side for, except these beans. I'm probably going to pop those beans out. So that's everything I've got going in here so far, and it's all looking really healthy. There's over there at the back in that tub, that's a Pak Choi that I didn't realise was still in there, and it's just popped up this week with the extra sunlight. It's decided to be here, so there's that one as well. So that's everything in the polytunnel. Let's see if we can go outside and have a quick look at the orchard. So this is my second allotment plot where I planted the tree last week. I planted the pear tree. It's out the back just along there. I don't know if you can see it. And since then I planted a plum tree as well, and I put it here because my idea was to run the orchard along the back there. So there's a separating fence between that allotment and mine, and I wanted to run the orchard along the back there. When I was digging there last week, it's really, really stony, and it feels like there's something under there. And my husband talked about maybe there was a pipe under there or something that runs along for some water. So I planted this one here. But now I'm thinking it's not what I wanted. I wanted them all to be close together. I wanted cross-pollination to happen. I didn't want to have a plum tree here, pear tree there, an apple tree over in my other allotment, and a cherry tree somewhere else. I wanted them all to be close together, so I'm trying to think about where to put them. So let's go over to the other allotment and I'll show you where I'm thinking about, and yeah, see what you think. So this is the area that I'm thinking that I might dig up the trees from the other allotment and bring them over here. So this is where I had my greenhouse last year, because I had to put the greenhouse in because everything kept getting eaten in the polytunnel. So I put this greenhouse in, but the cover got blown off it in one of the storms we've had this winter. So I was thinking I might take the greenhouse down because I don't really need it now I've got the polytunnel set up right. And I was wondering about moving those compost bins and putting an orchard here in this section, so I could plant them all out and they'd be together in this sort of square area. And I'm thinking that might work a bit better than having them up on the other allotment all separate. But I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure how well fruit trees cut. I mean, I guess they've only been in a week, so I guess that they should be fine to move. I mean, I guess we'll see. If they die, then they'll die. But yeah, so I was thinking and about having, say, maybe an apple, a pear, cherry, apple, pear, cherry, and a plum, and some plums in there as well, maybe. That's what I'm thinking about anyway. I don't know if I'm going to do it or not, because obviously I might end up needing this greenhouse, and also this area here is quite a wind tunnel. So the wind comes from the back end of the allotment and comes straight down here. So I don't know how that'll affect anything. But that's what I'm thinking so far. I don't know if anybody's planted an orchard before, then yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. But for now, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye.